Everyday DC is a unit plan developed by Pulitzer Center and DC Public Schools that asks students to explore the power of images to tell stories and inform the perceptions of viewers.
We were really fortunate to come in contact with the Pulitzer Center, who really shares that vision around visual literacy and in particular through the lens of media literacy.
The unit was inspired by Everyday Africa, an Instagram feed developed by Peter DeCampo and Austin Merrill, Pulitzer Center grantees, that posts images taken by journalists from across the continent. And the images aim to redirect focus to what the majority of Africans experience on a day-to-day basis, normal, everyday life. Students start by considering what images come to their minds when they think of Africa. They work with Everyday Africa's founders and their teachers to think about where they've heard about or seen images of Africa in the past, and what stories those images tell about the continent. Then, they compare those images to the ones posted to Everyday Africa's Instagram feed and wonder, what new information do we learn about everyday life from these images? Why are images of everyday life less represented in the media we all consume? This leads students to an analysis of how DC, their city, is represented in the media and how that compares to what they see in their everyday lives. From there, the students' challenge is set. Create a photography exhibit that represents your everyday DC through professional level photography and captions. They start by learning about photo technique. Pulitzer Center grantee Allison Shelley met with several schools to lead workshops on how to frame and compose images.
I love seeing them move from just taking really simple selfies to thinking about what the picture is saying and telling a story with their picture.
It was very inspiring having the journalists come to our classroom because it gives us a fresh start to actually take the pictures and think about what we're actually taking a picture of.
Students followed up their photo shoots with lessons led by their teachers and our staff on photo selection, exhibit curation, and caption writing.
The students have been amazing, and I think it's a real credit to the Pulitzer Center that they've found a way to turn this project into something that speaks to kids, and speaks to kids, in lots of places, but in this case here in DC, and the kids have just run with it. And I feel like in every classroom that I've gone to, the kids have been full of interesting questions. They've had all kinds of funny and heartfelt and just insightful ways to think about this project and this work. And it's been incredible to watch them take this idea and apply it to their own lives.
After working on their own in small groups and as a class to select the strongest photos, students from schools across the district contributed images to a final everyday DC exhibition.
As you walk around this exhibition, I encourage you to think of it not just as an incredibly shining example of what young people are capable of, but I hope that you see it as a narrative, as the beginning of a story where young people have been given the opportunity to tell what it means to be young and in DC in their own images.
It's also very inspiring to see middle schoolers actually taking pictures of things, and you're like, wow, I could do that for a living.
These are our future students and photographers and journalists and doctors and lawyers, and this is their perspective.
Sometimes we need to take a step back as adults to see how children perceive the world around them.
I think it was cool to see somebody who actually believed that we could make a difference and actually change people's perspectives of DC.
DC is not just a place where there's a lot of politics and buildings and monuments. DC is a very loving and caring place to be.
We can't wait to continue learning more about our city and about cities across the country through the eyes of students through this everyday unit, which was developed here in DC but could really be adapted anywhere.